Good morning, everyone. This is Midnight Brands coming to you on Monday, April 17th, 2023. And hope everybody had a great weekend. I need to fly through the charts and stuff today. I've had some things come up, and I've got to make some errands here early this morning. So we're going to go through these somewhat quickly here. So in any event, we're going to go ahead and jump right into it and get right into SVXY here. Pretty clean and straightforward levels on SVXY, and just as I pull this one up, just a reminder everybody, I am not a financial analyst or advisor. Nothing we say or do should be taken as any kind of buy or sell recommendations. Everything we do on here is for informational, educational purposes, kind of outlining our thoughts around how and what we might trade. Okay, and with that, we're going to go ahead and jump in. Pretty clean levels really on SVXY here. There's not a whole lot to say with them really. So, yeah. Just gonna go ahead and write up a few things there. So that is, like I said, that is SVXY. Not a whole lot really to it. It's pretty clean and straightforward. Not going to pay any attention to the trend strength reference point here today. It's right in the middle of all kinds of stuff. It's just not that interesting. So. You could keep an eye out for this area down here. A bit of a wider zone, but it's something to potentially keep your eye out on. Moving along, we're going to get to VIX. Up about 60 cents, give or take, from yesterday's close, which kind of makes sense. Had a little bit of a pull, not a lot though, really, in the grand scheme of things, on the indices overnight. I'm definitely starting to get into some of its buy side stuff there. I would also actually keep an eye on this area here. Okay, moving on, SPY. Also pretty clean-ish levels. Really cool to see it hit the top end of our range box there. As you can see, we've got this draw. It goes all the way back to April of 22, and we definitely, we pushed above last week, and stick for tick that gap fill, and I'm sure there's something else there with supply and demand, obviously, on Friday, and really a big pullback. But then to hold this, not even get a close, not really close below that, is pretty cool there. So not a whole lot else to say really. It's a pretty clean one, I'd say, overall. Did expand this one a tad. Gonna ignore the trend strength. And I would note this zone here that I added because it's got the look set up in there. Okay, and then the Qs. Okay, Qs. Let's see what we got here. So, noted, we got, let's put this in the light shot already. We got a nice full photo, ADRs, gap fill, as well as supply and demand low right there. Originally it was much higher, and I just kind of combined these two into actually one zone, I should say, as opposed to two. So I noted separately this WPP swing anchor VWAP zone and this trend strength reference point zone, which felt like they're important to note and kind of call out today. Excuse me. Okay, moving on. Like I said, we weren't joking, folks. We got some other things to do here today. So ES. Man, Microsoft just on a tear. Okay, so ES. There you go. I like seeing it like that. That way we get to see the weekly photo ADRs on both sides. Okay, so above we've got the first one here, WTGR2, just above full ADRs, which has not been much of anything lately. I'll go back and look here in a second. I don't remember what the econ stuff was here this morning. I don't think there was a ton off the top of my head, but I don't remember because I didn't really look. Okay, so those are how I see the zones there. Obviously, the top side ones are pretty self-explanatory. The middle one here added, it kind of drew out up a little bit in order to capture like the last week's high value area, top edge supply and demand. I don't remember it going up that high. And then noted the WPP daily cheat stuff here as an inside level, just given what and how it traded up through things last week. So maybe I guess could view as a retest. Try to break, fail, try to break, fail, push through, come back. So maybe you see this as a higher low here off of WPP tier 1 daily cheats. So possibility looks decent. So. And that's what, 4150. Yeah, I mean, I guess you can see some stuff through here. I'm not sure what that is right there. Probably about 4150. So, yeah. And so for today at 10 a.m., you got housing market index, net long-term TIC flows. China tonight has GDP, year-over-year retail sales, and industrial production. All supposedly, they're notorious for releasing on time, but all supposedly 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central. Okay, NQ. Alright, so NQ here. Nice hold of the look there the other day. So first zone to the upside, TGR2, full ADRs. Below that, we get TGR1, which has some other interesting stuff in here. 3-year low volume node. Beneath that, we get TGR. I dragged it down to not capture that 3-year LVN up there on the high. I'd rather grab this one. Really could just view this as one big trough. And so this is 3-year going back to, I think it's like April 16th, 2020 is when it goes back to. So, definitely an inside zone there. So pretty straightforward on NQ. Actually, I would say the challenge is if we don't hold, you know, like some of these zones here, I guess you'd even actually note that is a zone. If we don't hold that stuff, then I don't know what's to stop us from going to get something like that. And of course, we break through this guy, then what's to stop us from coming up here to grab that side on the weekly photo? Okay, RTY. Yeah, just gonna leave RTY there like that. Nah, actually I take that back. Let's be consistent. Alright, so RTY got a nice big cap there last week with the 50-day daily anchor VWAP from, looks like I've got that turned off, but it looks like about mid-February, and that retest that failed there. So first big thing from the upside there, you get that 200-day full WTG. You do have the end of week sheet right there, which seems really odd being that low that close, but you know, it is what it is. I combine these into one zone here. And actually remove this from being a div to a zone. So in the event we really get cranking to the upside, note of those two other ones there just on the fly, as you noticed. In any event, like I said, nice kind of big zone here in terms of scoring priorities, right? Monthly pivot, daily trend guide. Would watch for potential div. You know, maybe he wants to close the wick here, or maybe we decide to go up and tag the naked value area high from back here on whatever day this is. So yeah, moving below, you've got this kind of div-ish area with daily tier 1 expected move, the kind of cap to the overnight high so far. It's also, it looks like in this vicinity area is a 3-year low volume node, as well as last week in the 10-day point of controls are right there as well. So it was actually much bigger, and I just chose to split it up, and so that's why you see trend strength reference point, weekly pivot. Last week point of controls are up higher, and that's really where we pushed above and been trying to hold above there since overnight. Obviously need to pay attention to and note the fact here that you've got a really shallow swing AV WAP there with 20 day. So it's when I say shallow, I'm talking about the look setup is really shallow. Anywho, down here we've got 10-day low value area, 3-year. Is that really the 3-year low value area as well? Yeah, 3-year low value area. Last week's high volume node, 10-day low volume node, 10-day low volume area, and then the tier 2 daily sheet. So that's interesting. That's the 3-year low value area. In any event, last week's LVN, I don't really care about that, but it is the tier 3 daily cheat right there. The gap fill, or full ADR I should say. Yeah, that is RTY. YM. I think I need to redo these supply and demand zones here. Yeah, I'm definitely redoing those this coming weekend. Unless I decide to go work on some new thing, like I did this past weekend. And getting the volume node stuff all done and taken care of. And so in any event, here you go with YM. I say that, and we don't have the right prep notes up. But now we do. Okay, so YM there. Okay, and on this one, you can notice we noted the inside zone there, trend strength reference point. It did not get picked up, and intentionally didn't get picked up. But we're noting it because it's got the naked VA there. It's kind of where we've held overnight. It's got the gap fill there. And so there's, I mean, it's an interesting area nonetheless to watch, pay attention to. Same thing with WPP here. In part because you've got an NVPOC there, which I have not built into the stuff yet, but it's got an NVPOC there, weekly pivot points, bottom edge of supply and demand, and yeah, that's an interesting one. It's also hard to see, but looks like, I don't know, actually, did we mark that area? 34,100? No. Oh yeah, it did. It picked it up because it's got the 3-year low volume node, last week's low volume node, 10-day low volume, last week's high value area, and supply and demand high. So I wouldn't worry much about that one. It's there, but I wouldn't care about that. We'll see what happens today on it, but it's just not an area that I'm interested in. I'm more interested here. This one, which would be, came up and tagged this here on after that pull on Friday, and so maybe come up and tag the bottom edge of this one and fail off of that is potentially something that I can see. It is not really into any levels. I mean, it's kind of getting up into its average, but it's nothing of any significance by any means at all. So, yeah. All right, and I think we've got CL loaded up first here. Trying to decide what it wants to do against that daily anchored VWAP from June of last year. Nice. Okay, so we adjusted this zone here a little bit so to pick up the WTGR2. Beneath that, we debated about this, but we're keeping that div there because you get your June weekly anchored VWAP, which you can see is also the June 14th. Like the daily one is a little bit invalidated. We kept it on the daily chart just so we could visualize it here. It also comes up into this falling trend line that we've hit from the high. So if we decide to go up there, that'd definitely be an interesting one. It was the photo ADRs and yeah. Underneath that, you get into this zone here. There is a potential div here at the 200, which could be pretty interesting. But you also have this guy there. Trend strength. That one. I'm not as worried about this. It's there, with the high volume node, last week's low volume, 10-day, like all of this stuff here is all within really close proximity. The point of control and photo ADRs are also right there too. So, and actually take that back because 10-day point of control is down lower. We just dragged this up to make it smaller to grab the last week's low value area and whatnot. So in any event, that is CL. And give me 1 second, folks. I want to put everybody on mute here. Let's try that again. All right, folks, almost done here. Going to, again, kind of wrap up early today to, crap, I clicked the wrong button and I just redid all of my GC zones. Well, let's hope it doesn't mess them up too bad because I'd already looked through everything and adjusted stuff. So we're going to finish up GC here, and then we will be, we're going to call it, again, got some other things come up here today that we've got to deal with and take care of. And like I said, unfortunately clicked the wrong button and GC is rebuilding itself. So let's see what we get on it. I don't think it actually had to do many adjustments on it. We do need to get rid of this trend line because it is definitely trash. Come on, there we go. Okay, so we'll take this guy up to grab that swing anchor VWAP and then drag this guy up there. I know why it's got that one up that high, but I think I would actually take this down here to gap fill WPP like this. Similar down here, while the daily cheat is interesting there, we actually, no, I take it back, we tagged it overnight to the tick, so we're going to leave that one there and just drag up the bottom edge of this a little bit. Alright, now because this has got capturing so much stuff because we've had, you remember those one day a couple weeks ago, or actually it wasn't even a couple weeks ago, it wasn't that long ago, we had that $53 move, and so you know, in fact it was $55 even just yesterday. So I mean, full ADRs get to be some really big possibilities on some of these numbers here for this stuff. So really still big zone there. There's certainly a potential div on that one. Trend strength, like I said, we noted it, we're carving up to make it a little bit smaller. Trend guide there. I'm not going to note this one here. I mean, if we get there, I guess it is a possibility. That would just be craziness, though. Because we've already traded $20 for the day. And so that'd be a 70-point move on the day, which I guess is possible, but a little bit way out of the ordinary, really. Alright, well that is GC, folks. Like I said, we've got some other things that have come up, so we've got to call this one early today. Hopefully that has been helpful. We will catch y'all later and have a great one. Thanks.